morning, Uganda Friday special right here on UBC TV. Well, it is the 25th of November 2022, and of course the last Friday of the month. Yes, we just have a couple of days more to say goodbye to the month. How are you doing? How has your week been? Well, I can't complain about mine necessarily. Well, if yours wasn't exactly the best, probably today being a Friday, being the last day of the week and trying to, transition into the weekend mode, I hope it can be slightly a much better day, like rather before or better than how your week started. But yes, my name is Philomena Mastiko. I am with Robert Kirabo, Nyonyintono, Uncle Bob this Friday, and I am with Mollen, Kenyena. Well, I'm very excited, Robert and Mollen, because I don't know if you've been hearing about Black Friday, Black Friday November. Today is actually the real Black Friday, the very last, Friday of the month of November. And it would be exciting if our business people would put that into consideration and giving us things at probably three quarters price, as opposed to half price, and they just take out like 70%. But hey, I hope you make use of this and you get into the mood of November as you're getting into December. But Robert, good morning. How are you? Happy Friday. This is one of your favorite days that I'm very certain of. How are you feeling?
I'm very happy, very excited, because the weekend is just around the corner. The 5 working days are done. Now we are going into the weekend. But fellow comrades, before you begin going in the Friday mood, make sure you finish what you're supposed to do. Last Friday, much as I love Fridays so much, I went in a public office, and this is what I observed.
Yes.
People came in late, so I had to wait for someone sit. And I'm sometimes very impatient. And they told me, Robert, it's a Friday. People come in late. It's a Friday. I'm like, much as we have special Friday, UBC TV, and we give you the best, we usher you into the weekend, we create that mood. Please, there are some people that you have jobs to do. You have work to fulfill. Just imagine if you weren't here, because it's a Friday. So first finish what you're supposed to accomplish, then enjoy the Friday. This week has been fairly, with some highs and lows, like the World Cup. It opened, it's very interesting, but some people, most of this team called Argentina, there's a way treated some people, and we wouldn't believe that Saudi Arabia would beat this team. So some people, like my colleague Nasa Mukasa, who do the Kapapula. Do you know the Kapapula?
Yes, I do know the Kapapula.
That one game made people lose a lot of money, because no one thought that Saudi Arabia would ever beat Argentina. So many people put a lot of their money, and now I've begun to see the danger of these things. A World Cup you can bet. Now here comes Saudi Hamas Argentina, and people and people's joy. They say, this is a sure win. Someone put 50, the other put 100. They were told that if you go, is it called VIP? I've never done those things, but at least I hear people talk about them. There is when you have to give very few teams, so you put a lot of money. So someone saying, I lost 300. I'm like, you people. I don't know how much I was supposed to get if it wasn't this team. So it has come with a lot of interesting things.
But people will learn. People will learn to give benefits of doubt, because everybody was very, very, very optimistic that Argentina would take this one home. But well, as you can see, life is quite unpredictable. Mollen, good morning. Happy Friday.
Well, good morning to you. It is a Friday indeed. It comes with its own happiness. But I guess not a lot of black faces are happy, as per se, getting from what Robert is saying about World Cup. It looks like a lot of African teams are losing, and we're not happy about it now. Particularly yesterday's game, Philomena, if you ask me, everyone had a sad face, because we looked at Portugal and Ghana, Portugal winning, and people kept saying, why is there no VAR?
Yes.
Why is it that whenever we have African teams playing, there is no VAR? And I'm like, okay, this is an overstatement, but it creates a lot of doubt, because you look at most of those goals that got in and you're like, I wish we had VAR.
Yes.
Like Ronaldo's penalty. Everyone was like, we needed a second eye on that, but it wasn't there, and that created a bad mood. I saw a lot of Ghanaians on Twitter really bringing it on, saying we are cheated, this is just an overlook by FIFA, and they are actually going ahead to go into FIFA's inbox across all social media platforms, raising their message, and they are calling on other people, please do the same. If the messages
yes.
They need to do something, they need to say something. But I'm like, okay, at this time we are grieving. We're still looking forward to more of the games. If at least we can have one African nation go past the group stages, that will be something to look forward to. But at this point, the hopes are really down. We do have the game with Senegal against Qatar. We're looking forward to that. We do hope that Senegal really does better in this one, and at least we have that win. But otherwise, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Well, like I already said, 6 to 4 matches, already a couple of them down. We're waiting to see what will happen at the end of the day. But getting through some of our stories locally and internationally, what's happening here in the local scene, Robert?
Well, we'll begin with politics. You know, politics runs a lot of things, and mostly with the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, where the top leadership of the Forum for Democratic Change party has begun discussing and coming up with answers on how to regain its influence in decisions made in Parliament and other institutions of government in the country. While delivering his keynote address during the party's 5th National Council meeting at Nyonyintono, former president for Forum for Democratic Change Party, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, said the party they have must examine their role in this situation. And still moving on the local scene, we have members of parliament across their different political divides have unanimously paid glowing tribute to the late Dr. Paul Kawanga Ssemwogerere, the former leader of Democratic Change Party in the early 2000s. Dr. Paul Kawanga Ssemwogerere was eulogized in a motion moved to Parliament by the leader of government, also the Prime Minister Robina Nabbanja. The late Paul Kawanga Ssemwogerere is remembered for his participation and objectivity in the political sphere while in the Uganda opposition. Dr. Ssemwogerere passed on the 18th of November this very year at the age of 90 at his home in Lubaga. Having contested twice for presidency, Dr. Ssemwogerere served his party with distinction in several positions of responsibilities. MPs described the late Dr. Ssemwogerere as a mentor, charismatic, objective, constructive, and dedicated asset the country has ever had in the political arena. And now, away from Parliament, President Museveni has urged nurses and midwives to assist in information dissemination on the risks of epidemics and pandemics. The president made the remarks in a speech read by him, the Vice President Jessica Alupo, yesterday, as delegates, leaders, representatives of different nursing and midwifery institutions in Uganda gathered at Kampala to commemorate the 11th anniversary of the Ugandan Nurses and Midwifery Council, a body enacted by an Act of Parliament in 1996. And finally, from the local scene, President Museveni has fulfilled his pledge of 170 million towards the organization of the National Students' Conference slated for this month. This package was delivered by the State House Controller Jane Bareche at the National Chairman's office located at Chambogo. While speaking to the student leaders, the State House Controller advised them to be organized and encourage others to support government programs.
And on the international scene, Ukraine has been battling to reconnect water and electricity services to millions of people after a barrage of Russian missiles and drones hit energy infrastructure Wednesday, leaving nearly 80% of the country in the dark. By Thursday evening, more than 24 hours after the Russian strikes smashed areas of Kyiv, the city's mayor Vitaly Klitschko said 60% of homes were still suffering emergency outages. Now, Elon Musk has said Twitter will provide a general amnesty to suspended accounts starting next week after running a poll on whether to do so for users who had not broken the law or engaged in egregious spam. In a poll Musk posted on Twitter on Wednesday, 72.4% of the more than 3.16 million users who took part voted in favor of bringing back those who had been suspended by the social media platform. Last week, Musk, the world's richest person, reinstated some previously suspended accounts, including that of former United States President Donald Trump, the satirical website Babylon Bee, and comedian Kathy Griffin.
Ghana's government is working on a new policy to buy oil products with gold rather than US dollar reserves. Vice President Mohamed Bouamie has said on Facebook. Now, the move announced on Tuesday is meant to tackle dwindling foreign currency reserves coupled with demand for dollars by oil importers, which is weakening the local kede and increasing living costs. Now, if implemented as planned for the first quarter of 2023, the new policy will fundamentally change our balance of payments and significantly reduce the persistent depreciation of our currency, Bouamie said. Now, using gold would prevent the exchange rate from directly impacting fuel or utility prices, as domestic sellers would no longer need foreign exchange to import oil products, he explained. And in climate news, experts and activists were hoping UN climate talks would end last week with a prominent mention of biodiversity in the final text. They walked away disappointed. Now, some say delegates at COP27 summit missed a key opportunity to acknowledge the connection between twin climate and nature crises, with many believing that they have been treated separately for too long. Now, at COP15 UN biodiversity talks next month, dozens of countries will meet to hammer out a new framework to protect animals and plants from destruction by humans. The meeting comes as scientists warn that climate change and biodiversity damage could cause the world's 60th mass extinction event.
Good morning, Uganda. Friday special still going on. We're going in for a break. When we get back, we're going to be having quite an interesting conversation here about finances in families. Would you be okay declaring your salary to your significant other? Does that put you in a comfort place? Well, I can't wait to hear from you, our beautiful viewers, and the amazing discussions I am pretty sure we'll be having when we get back. Good morning, Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay? Okay. If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay. If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very, very own people. I have the Oboso Bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Arwakojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay. Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Yours as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by.
Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN cupboard. That's super easy.
We bring you a fresh, well-researched program to help you identify opportunities for investment, job creation, growing your entrepreneurial skills, wealth creation, and social transformation.
We have a product that is ready for schools, supermarkets.
Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Every week we showcase opportunities for creating new products and services.
I now harvest a lot of cocoa. When I harvest it, I sell. After selling, I put money in my project. I have two projects. One is for construction of my house. Two is for educating my children.
Excellence in innovation, the passion and drive to succeed. and the right mindset to grow your business. Create wealth, transform livelihoods. Brought to you by Operation Wealth Creation.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone.
This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here. In the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
This is Good Morning Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely. Okay? If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay? If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very, very own people. I have the Oboso bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Abakojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay. Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Yours as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by.
Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN cupboard. That's super easy.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda Friday special. It is the 25th of November 2022. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Well, welcome to this special segment where we're going to be having a discussion from the social aspect. My name is Philomena Mastiko, and this morning I'm in the company of Mollen, Kenyena, and Uncle Bob, Robert Kirabo here. And when it comes to family, Robert and Mollen, I know that you both, the both of you, hold it in high regard. But also, when it comes to family, there are very many other things that happen there. For you to successfully run a family, or to be considered that you're running a family successfully, there are certain conversations that have to be had. Quite ugly conversations, very hard conversations, but they ought to be had. One of the conversations is always about the finances, the monies that run a home. A home definitely has quite a lot of things that are expected to be met, and of course you can only meet them when you have the money, the finances. When it comes to the bills, when it comes, you know, to dealing with the costs that come with running it, I mean, everything and anything has something to do with money, paying children's fees and tuition and all that. But of course, because two people are involved in running a home, definitely the mother and the father, the incomes have to be put on the table. Now, this is a conversation again that very many people disagree with. When it comes to declaring your incomes to your partner, do you think that's a good strategy of managing your finances in a home? Or maybe there are other alternatives. You don't necessarily have to declare your incomes to your significant other. And again, I know that every family has a customized way of running their incomes. There are people there who have never told their husbands or their wives how much they earn, how much they make. All they do is, I will sort this. They would rather do that as opposed to telling them how much they earn or they bring to the table. But before we get into all that, maybe Robert, you could just take us through, when it comes to finances, why would it be very necessary for a family or for a husband and a wife to come together and decide that this is what we are going to do when it comes to the financial aspect of running our home? Why do you think that's very necessary?
I think even before we go to why it's necessary, the first thing is, why did the two of you come together? You know, what was the purpose? That when I met Mastiko, when I met Mollen, I proposed to her and I said, we can begin staying together.
Yes.
You know, one of the sole purposes of why people come together is to do life, to make life together. You know? But of course, these days, many things have changed. Someone may come to somebody because she thinks she has come for, maybe she's come to a bank. You know, a man will go with this woman when it is all about lust. So, and situations then bring them to be together. But the sole purpose was not that I've looked at this young girl, I've looked at this mature girl, I've looked at this elderly woman, and I feel the rest of my life I want to be with this person, I want us to do life together. So if the sole purpose is to do life together, certain things are possible. Even when you go to our faith, our religion, I understand so much when the born-again faith. For us, when you're making your vows, taking them, one of the things is, all I have, I give to you. All that is mine, I give to you. It's a sense that we are coming together, we've been one, and the Bible says the two become one. So with that small background, that will really define if you're going to work life together or if it's going to be everyone for their own, and the ring or the bed or the house brings us together. That's why you find that there are women who will even have rentals and the husband is not aware. You know, this lady at their home has massive investments and the husband is not aware of that. There are men who will have property and the wife is not aware. She's even shocked when this guy, at the demise of this guy, oh no, there was land here, there was land there. And so that this man maybe had children outside, but because when they were coming together, their sole purpose was never doing life together.
Okay.
Because you asked me for the benefits when you do life together, even in your finances. This is what happens. One creates peace in a home. Because Philo or Mollen, if you know how much I earn, I know how much you earn, then we plan together. We say if it's the food that will see us through the month or something like that, this is what we've spent. If you are saying now we've completed our fence, we need to get the gate, you're like, what plan? How do we ensure we get to this? We are able to have the gate we want put on our house. Then we will say, what is your contribution? This is my contribution. You get it?
Yes.
So there is a way, and people don't ask you thinking you have yet you don't have. I know families where a woman will tell you, you get it. But when you ask the man, but comrade, the wife is complaining, he'll tell you, I'm literally living hand to mouth. How much do you think I earn?
Yes.
She expects so much from me. But the reason is you're keeping your finances very, very secret to you. I know of women where the man will think, she works on TV. You know how much she gets? You know how much she gets? Those people get money, they do this. But then he may abscond from certain duties deliberately.
Yes.
You say, no, you're having a part of she can't fail to dress the children. She will do that. But now, if you know, there's less pressure, but also development and right decisions. Two heads are better than one. As for you saying at the end of the month, I'm going to hang out with the boys, this lady will tell you, but I think this month, let's go to hardware, make a deposit of this. And that within 3-4 months, we shall be able to have these bags of cement and begin on the foundation of the house. You know, when you're planning together, there are things that work out very well. When you know someone is responsible partly on what you earn, they will tell you January is not very far. You are now in November. Honey, Christmas may take, but what do you do? Let's use this salary. We deposit on fees. Then you find that by the time you get there, it is simple. But if you know it is my money, it is her money. And even funny, even women that are not working.
Well, Robert, you make it look so easy, but I mean, that would be the ideal thing. But Mollen, between
it's a tough decision.
quite a very tough decision indeed, yes. But there are usually two options, you know, from the observations I've made in most families, okay? Either they declare their monies to each other, or they have a joint account, or they decide to just divide the responsibilities. I mean, not necessarily tell you how much I earn, or you know, the other person earns. All you do is that, you know what, you will meet these bills and this and this and this, and you will meet these other. You know how you do that? That is entirely up to you, but I know you have the capacity. I don't know, what do you think about that strategy? Because right now, as we speak 2022, Mollen, between me and you, we know that women these days, when it comes to declaring their money, we are a bit sketchy. We do not know, you know, and I mean, there are very many questions, and probably there are very many circumstances that have, especially that have led us to start thinking that way. So, I mean, in your opinion, what do you think would be the ideal thing? And I mean, basing on what's happening right now in 2022.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to money issues, you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Because guess what? We might talk about 2022 being the trend of how, you know, women have gotten, you know, very protective with their money.
Yes.
But this is something that actually started way back as well. But I don't think there is an ideal way of, you know, having or declaring your finances, although I know there are wrong ways that I have seen happen. I've seen situations where a man decides to tell a woman, you know what, for you, at the end of the month, you have to bring all your money to me.
Yes.
I am the one doing the planning. I am actually the one going to give you money for transport the next day to go back to this particular work. And in my opinion, that is wrong. This person goes to work on a daily or weekly or whatever business they are doing, and they are bringing in money. Now, for you to take away that, you know, self-awareness from them that they can manage finances and be like, you know what, let me handle the money. That is just wrong. This is just men patronizing finances, and I don't like it. However, I am also a big fan of knowing each other's finances. If you know how much I earn and I know how much you earn, it's going to be easy in the whole process. And you know, when you talk about money, it is without doubt that 100% of problems in a relationship, in a marriage, in a family, are because of money.
Yes.
It is very true. Money will always be a problem. You just need to know the process. And you see, financial management, we can talk about management at, at a personal level, but as long as you're a family, you need to go through processes of budgeting the money, spending, saving, and investing it. Now, we do know that all those 4 processes, you will find a man or a woman is good at something. Now, with budgeting, I think women are doing much better when it comes to budgeting for the money.
That's true.
And we do know that spending, women should not be allowed to, get, because for us, we tend to spend, it's
we become
easy for,
spendthrifts.
yeah,
yes.
It's easy for us to spend, but we're also good at saving money.
Yes.
We are good at saving money, especially if we know there is something we're saving for, which is where the men come in with investing. Well, recently we have a trend where women have gotten good in investing, but at least we know that men have kept a good track record when it comes to investing money. Now, this is where now you see 2 people must come together and make sure that they have gone through all these 4 processes together. You bring what you have on the table. If you know that, well, Mollen gets, a particular amount at the end of the month or at the end of the week, I also get a particular amount. How do we now save for something like this? For example, want to invest in a big business that will require maybe about 200 million. But how much are we going to be saving per month to reach a goal before we even bring in financial institutions, maybe loans and whatever? So the moment you set a target, the moment you set, a goal, you're able to now bring these monies together. You don't have to tell me that, bring all your money. But as long as you've, met this savings plan, and you know that to get to this goal, we'll need to save probably $1 million per month. Then I know I have to give $1 million per month. And what is left on that account, I am okay to spend it however I want, as long as we have, sorted the things that we're supposed to be contributing to. I really like that. I also don't like the fact that there are some women who hide their accounts from their partners.
Yes.
I think that is a wrong thing to do, especially if you're looking at, growing your family. And this family, I'm talking about a marriage, though. I am not giving this kind of information to people who are girlfriend, boyfriend.
No.
You have not started a family together.
Yes.
It's not right for you to just declare all your money to this particular person and you're like, you know what? They say in relationship you have to share all your money. Probably this person is not even looking at a future with you.
Yes.
But talking about a family when you're looking at a future together, that is
and
something
I think this is why
to
people
look
get
forward
it
to.
wrong. Like, when you're dating, probably you've been dating for, say, longer than 2 years. Still, I don't think you should be very comfortable doing that until you're actually very certain this is the person you're married, and now you're looking at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, you're planning for your family, you're planning for kids, probably maybe along the way you already have like 1 or 2 kids. You need to start setting priorities right.
Yes.
Because and these days there are financial institutions have brought up accounts like school fees and all that. You need to start now putting money towards that route, and I think it's only fair in a relationship if both of you are doing that. However, we've also seen incidences where people do separate investments. You will find a man in a home who goes ahead, buys a particular piece of land, and they're only telling you about it. By the way, I bought land in Kono, for your information. For your information, we are 2 married people, and ideally the investments you're making. Yes. Why are you telling me? I don't even know what is included in that title.
Just
I don't know whether I can contribute to it.
Men who buy land.
Yes.
And the woman says, I don't like that place because you didn't include her.
Yeah.
She says, you bought that land near your father, your parents' home. I don't feel comfortable being close to that. So we either sell that land or we put rentals, but I'm not going to be next to my in-laws. I have no problem with them. I just don't feel comfortable being there. Or the lady says, if that far, but imagine if you had planned together. I think marriage is about, the key word is doing life together.
Okay. Teamwork. I think it's not even at this level we're even bringing in family. And I'll give you an example that one of my professors gave us at a certain point. He says he has kids at a particular age who were very careful with how their father comes to school in a certain car. Now this guy For him, he was comfortable with his car. He had a Pro Box, and he was very comfortable. So he always, you know, wanted to come to school and surprise them, but he would show up with this particular car. And the kids would feel so ashamed. And at one point, they were like, "But Dad, please, you have the money. Buy a better car. We don't feel comfortable with this car." It's like, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know it's my car. It's like, yeah, but it also, how we look in public is okay.
It's ideally should be a family car.
Yeah. So when they went back to school, he waited and he's like, okay, now I'm going to change, you know. He went and bought another car, and then he showed up on the visiting day. Guess what? He bought a car that they also didn't like. You know, it was, he said a Spacio. He bought a Spacio. Exactly, whatever he was looking at, he bought that particular car and came to school, and the kids were like, "Oh my God, Dad, you shouldn't have bought this particular car." And then he's like, "What do you kids want?" But the whole moral issue is, if he had consulted them or even asked for their opinion of, you know, what car do you think would be okay?
Yes.
Maybe they give opinions. They say, maybe we want a Primo, maybe we want a Land Cruiser or whatever. Then you should table the fact that, you see, for us to get this car, we'll need this kind of money. And this is the money I have. These are the cars that fit in this budget. Or, you know, maybe the kids would either be okay with the decision he took, or actually have a contribution to, you know, one car that they liked that would still be in his budget. And I think that's something to learn from. The moment you do it as an individual, it might not be okay for the family. But if you let family, you know, contribute to give their ideas, you might find that you actually both benefit. Like you talked about that piece of land, like someone buys without consulting you. At the end of the day, you have to sell, or even, you know, get into more trouble with, you know, yet you could have invested in something that both of you agree on as a family. So
well, the conversation this morning,
this kind of stuff.
Yes, we're looking at financial management in our home, and you can be part of it. Get onto our WhatsApp platform 0709602592. Get onto Twitter #UBCGMU. How should married people manage their finances? What is your opinion about having a shared account? What is your opinion about married people sharing or declaring their incomes to each other? What relevance does that carry? But also, we need to talk about an issue that, I mean, this is something that has been happening in society. I mean, a discussion among us very many communities. There's a whole notion that women run away from men when they don't have finances anymore, even when they're married. You would think that this is something that happens when you're still in the dating stages, and you know, probably you're engaged, but you're not yet married. But if you're married, you went to the altar and said, "I do," and you're still running away from your partner because they don't have finances. I mean, what do you think causes that anyway?
Well, the foundation of everything determines its strength along. If the foundation was wrong, like I mentioned earlier, what brought you two people together?
Yes.
If I met Mollen and I'm like, wow, I like this slimmy girls, chocolate color, you know, and along the way, Mollen gains weight, usually after birth. First, second, you know that she's no longer the Mollen I wanted.
Yes.
Because I went for something that is perishable, that can change. If you saw this Robert, brother, he's a hunk, no, he's loaded, the guy is loaded. Because used to come at hostel, the money is there. So when the time comes and the money is no longer there, when the time comes and the beauty is no longer there, what brought you into this marriage has ceased to be. So if your interest is not there, then the marriage becomes very uncomfortable for you, and you just have to move away from this marriage. But I've seen people who came together to do life together, even when the husband loses a job. There's a family I know where almost the entire years of their marriage, it was the woman working, doing everything, even constructing the house, it was the lady. But you see, God is funny. Towards the end, the man gets a very, very juicy job, and the lady loses the job. I don't know how God does his things. But you see, they were so much in harmony because she's been there with respect and dignity. He's now gotten his time, and he's like, I think it's now my time to be responsible. Though there are also some men I call like idiots, you know, that when a woman has been there for you through your hard times,
yes,
when you get money,
sweet,
You tend to forget that. Equally, there are some ladies.
You get better.
Yes, I think this is the problem. Fellow men watching us this morning. I think this is one of the things that we need to really think about. If this lady has been with you when you do not have, and you've gotten money, it's not time to look for your dream girl. That's what we say.
It becomes a modified business.
Now you're looking for your dream woman. But my brother, your dream woman was not with you at that time.
Why don't they wait and first get the dream woman instead?
All you could do would look at her and say, if I had a car. So, because she couldn't accept you when you didn't have, but this lady was there for you, please cherish her throughout. And even the women, our sisters watching us, some of them when they get money, and because these days women are empowered, you're waking up, you got her, she was maybe earning 500, the next she's being promoted, getting better opportunities, she's a judge in some have escorts. I know of my colleague, I won't mention the name, the wife became a minister, you know, and from a nursery teacher to grade whatever, the MP, then a minister. So she would be invited for some functions. The escort has the handbag, and the brother could not sit where the ministers are, but they have gone as a husband and a wife. So he's told to step aside as they take this one. But the man was comfortable throughout until the woman was dropped from cabinet, and they are still in harmony. So even ladies, when you get respect, when you get money,
power,
when you get power, it's not a time to say bye-bye because you're doing life together. So most of the times, ladies run away from these men because they came in this marriage for the wrong purposes. And I'm afraid this is continuing today.
Quite sad.
This is continuing today. And it's actually on an increase because of the financial pressures, economic pressures. That woman will tell you out, this guy is good, he's understanding, but he doesn't have money. Yet no one has the MasterCard for money. COVID-19 left very rich people down. Accidents, sometimes anything can come up. So if you went because of money, you run away. If you went because of love and doing things together, it will stay. But also, as we are talking about financial management in a home, I've grown up hearing this thing, and I'm afraid it's not going anywhere. That even a woman who doesn't work stays home, a typical housewife. And the husband every day must put money on the table. It's called Kameza.
And then nowadays they demanded for it to increase.
But you see, that money is never used 100% by a woman. And you meant it is not your right. You have no right, I want to look and I emphasize this,
to monitor,
to ask for accountability. That money you give to the woman, either for you live like a 30, you live 10K, even if you're not supposed even to peep there.
Preach, brother, preach.
It is her money. She knows how she uses it. But men complain that even when this lady has their box, some have bank accounts, you know, now with money, where you use your phone. That is mobile banking? She'll say she'll make some money, go to the mobile money, they tip, then she sends to her account. And some very calculative women amass a lot of money, to be honest, because if 30 days every day, she can save maybe 15,000, 30 days. By the end of the year, she has money because everything mostly lies on the man. But what happens is, even when there is a major problem in the home, she's comfortable.
But why are we also not addressing the fact that in these particular homes, you also have men that are actually looking forward to women giving them money? There is this current trend, and I think people have to acknowledge it. There are men who also go for women because of their money. It's not because of love. And they even take it to the altar. Say, I do, for rich or for poor and all that. And it was the money that took them there. I think we also have that category.
The men,
And at the end of the day, these women think, okay, I think he loves me. And they will grow that marriage or whatever, 1 kid, 2 kids down the road. And the guy realizes, okay, I think now that I have the money, now that I feel like, you know, I've been in this lifestyle, maybe I should go back. And that is how we're having broken relationships. That's how we're having broken marriages. People do not ascertain this kind of stuff. And I think men are wiser at this. They kind of, you know, put it in a way that you will never see it coming. Most of these women are not aware. And we're talking about empowered women these days. Gone are the
Those
days
that
where
can
you
donate
have...
Range Rovers from that lady
Exactly.
on birthdays.
So you do look at... okay, don't bring in the bad.
No, I'm just saying those, that category of women.
You look at
that can give me a BM.
The women that are always counting on the kameza are actually like 10%. These days you have 90% of the women earning their own money.
True.
And, you know, getting their own businesses on the go. And men are now targeting that. They actually nowadays, a man doesn't just come to you because you're beautiful. They come to you on how much do you
have
earn?
the financial
Which kind of
capacity?
job?
Would you actually
Exactly.
look after me? Would you look
Previously,
after
we were looking
job
at
do you
which
have?
family is she coming from?
Yes.
That doesn't
do
matter
they have
these
criminal
days.
records,
Yeah.
health, and they night dancers, and the mother and all
It
that. Today it is now
matter.
money.
It's money, it's the kind of job that you have,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
the kind of lifestyle that you have
But all
that is
those are
attracting all these
perishables.
men.
Well, we do have
Exactly, and that is
feedback.
where we have an issue actually.
Those are perishables.
We have feedback coming in regards to this topic, and Johnny White from Moroto says financial management in home starts from trust. This happens by sharing information as a family and involve your woman or a man in budget planning. Well, thank you so much, Johnny White. And also coming in from another viewer here saying that money is a difficult subject, but the earlier you open up with it, like I say, it's one of the ugliest and hardest conversations, but you have to have it, because
I know
if
there
you
are
don't,
couples watching us now.
Absolutely.
and they're looking at each other because they're very guilty. They know what they do not know. But this viewer is saying, by the time you tell someone that I love you, the better it will be about opening up on financial matters. You know, for example, for me, my wife really accesses my ATM card, and we have both our names on our land titles. So it's about having strong morals and good upbringing. I'm just thinking of a Kampala man who would openly and freely give you their ATM card.
Oh, I do.
And I mean,
Because I found
they're
it that
there, but
when
right
it is
now,
empty, you know we don't have.
It's
the
up to you.
percentage.
And you
Yes.
guys, let me just tell you a simple story. During COVID, I was forced to attend Fathers Union meetings.
Yes.
By a friend of mine who pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. I said, Robert, you must come and see how we do things. Now, this time they combined the fathers and the male and the female, and
Yes.
that is Church of Uganda. They have what they call Mothers and Fathers Union. Now there's this lady who heads the Women Union under Church of Uganda. Forgetting her name, but sometimes she's also common on Star TV. Now, there was this case that was very tough. During COVID, the husband was not working, but the wife noticed that they were eating very well, even more than they were feeding before COVID.
Yes.
So the woman will say, this man stays home, but he moves, goes, buys meat, a bunch of matoke. His home is happy. So after some time, she was inquisitive, you know. People are having a tough time, but the man was okay. Now guess where the man was getting the money? This lady had what they call a kabox. I think she would save them after some time.
Oh,
put the money there. So she had saved. So now the man had gone and gotten money from the kabox.
Oh no.
And put somewhere, and they were using this money. And this was a serious issue. We saw at Namembe guest house, packed. And they were saying, now how do you handle this situation? He said, the man told the woman, I've been working and things have been okay. Now I don't have. But every time I came to you and I'm like, as I was moving around trying to clean the house because I was idle, I saw a small box at the extreme end of one of the stands of the bed. Opening, I discovered in this house where I've continuously cried of poverty.
Yes.
Where sometimes even the landlord is almost chasing us. We had 3.2.
But you know what, Robert?
So
I
he
support
said,
that man.
I've asked for help, you're not.
Yes.
The food we are eating is for me, you, our children.
I support that man, because for a partner who has been there, and we're looking at a person who has genuinely provided, okay, they have met all the bills, they've been feeding you, because things can't be perfect. And I mean, this is again a tendency for my fellow women.
Yeah, a lot of ladies about Christian women.
Yes, there
stood up and said no.
There are reasons why a woman would actually not want to touch her money, even if the man was really struggling. How? They do have their different reasons, but in this specific case, for a person who has been there, when you can actually attest to it as a wife, and things are really not working out, and you have a financial capacity,
you must find a solution. You're a man.
If I am that man, we would really have a good time.
And especially considering the time, it was COVID, and this man was home, he wasn't working. So I do think that she should have come out to say, you know what, look, while you were providing the money, I also took the liberty to save a little, you know, something for us to use in specific times. Maybe if she had come clean about it, the man wouldn't have to resort to, you know, using the money anyhow, because at this point, I think he was just buying whatever he could just to, you know, to show her and use it. Yeah, but if she had come clean and say, you know what, honey, we have 3 million, or we have, how can we plan for it? Maybe they would have, you know, come out of it on the other side without taking it to now a church meeting.
One of the issue that was raised was that some men get shocked when they discover their ladies' savings. That, for example, he'll say, you're not working. Or if you're working, he'll still say, with your salary, we go and begin mathematics. Now, if Mollen earns this much, how come Mollen has accumulated this amount of money? Yet we forget that some of the times we have responsibilities of women, and women have a good saving culture. So when the lady finally, of course, it was very surprising that we had split between men and women, Christian women who all took off, because Father's Union and Mother's Union, who all took off, and the ladies were saying the man stole. That was wrong, he stole. So at times, some women fear to tell their husbands that I have savings of this amount of money, because they will ask, how did you get that money? I work every day. My account,
you don't work,
my account doesn't even have this amount of money. But for you, how come you have this amount of money? Some will say, Mollen, I know how much you earn. I earn more than you. How come you have this amount of money? So that's why also there's that complete, you know, a child comes home and the mother pays fees and tells the child, don't tell your father I paid it. Take this money, go and bank it. So that the father is still panicking to get the money. Now when the father gets the money, the woman says, since you're busy.
But you see, Robert, also you men have brought this kind of thing on yourselves, because you also fail to, you know, do these responsibilities. Now the women have resorted to every means necessary. Mollen, come to kin because the men have not.
I like what Mollen is saying, because there is a comment here that's kind of is driving towards that direction. And this is a gentleman saying, he's George Watwati from Bale. He says, I want to thank this program of today because it's teaching us, the youth, to be responsible people in the future. But let's talk in our home. He's being very specific in their home. He says, my mommy and father are all government workers. But when it comes to their salaries, I don't know where our father takes his money, because even school fees, it's our mother mostly who pays for us. So exactly. Now when Mollen is saying that, and I'm seeing a comment that is exactly coming in line with that, what happens?
It's the men who get out of these responsibilities. No, there is no other things, Robert. You're not going to convince me that paying your child's school fees is a lot of things. You know, that you have a lot of things to do. Which things that are not visible in your family? I mean, the child is noticing this trend.
Yes.
The child is now coming up to say, our daddy never does anything. It's our mom that does everything.
Well, what else are you doing?
What are you doing that your family is not
Maybe
aware?
I'm saving for a plot of land.
Does your wife know about it?
But you have not communicated.
Does your wife know about it?
But also some men. Their money also, you know, this unfaithfulness. You see, he has about 2, 3. And
probably he has another family he's catering to.
By the way, you people, let's be honest. There are many people today that have secret families.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
You will think you're the first family when you're the second family.
You think your first family, by the end of the day, there is another family somewhere. Only when you're laid in that sitting room, then they see children as old as those of yours. But at what time did this man manufacture these babies?
That's true.
So it's okay for women to be concerned when they see some of these men actually not contributing to things they're supposed to do. And one thing I think we should bring in here is the key issue on communication. There is not enough communication in families, which is why you even find people that are living beyond their means. as a family, because you know everyone is trying to use their money anyhowly. They're not looking at what happens later, but because they don't want to be in a situation where they are the ones left with responsibilities. So I get my money, but let me use it anyway because the money is there. He will do something, and then the money is like, okay, I'll use my money. First of all, she's also a government worker. She works. She's gonna pay the school fees. So there's just people and
the things men know.
Yeah,
that
and people are tempted to live
sober
beyond their
woman.
means.
Have I used a tough word?
It's okay. You can go.
It's acceptable.
Any two things I've learned: when a child is sick, when a child is just from school, where a sober woman will not hold on to her money. She rather find ways of doing it and later milking it back. You know, you have a way of recovering what you
steal. They will borrow the money.
A woman will get from her savings. Take your, like, I don't have money. Take this child to hospital. Tell the doctor, Mokubide batubanja. At least that she gets back the money. A woman will tell the child, go and pay school fees. Here's the money, go back to school. But I'll find out. Then disturb her. You've not yet paid. They're going to chase the child. The mom will say, okay, here is the money. It goes back to her savings. Yet, this is our child. If you've paid and I'm not able to pay, why do you want to get that money? Dressing children.
Yes.
You go
but the good thing,
Kirabo,
just a minute, Kirabo. The good thing you said, she gets it and it goes back to her savings. You know what saved that child in the first place? It's the fact that she had saved that money somewhere, and it came in handy when she needed it.
So in most cases, actually,
so it's
when
okay for her
women
to get the money
it
back.
goes back to the family.
Exactly.
It's just the timing, the first. So at the end of the day, you're the beneficiaries of the savings.
You're so smart.
Anyway, our poll question this morning: share your opinion on declaring your income to your significant other for better financial management in a home. Is this something you would gladly and happily take on? Don't do it because you feel you're mandated to, but you would actually do it because you know it has quite some relevance. But yes, more comments coming in from Lawrence in Moroto. Says some ladies prefer saving secretly for their own good. We just need to have a family saving scheme. All right, and also another viewer here, Arthur, you're saying that to what level do married people respect the vows they made? And I think this is in reference
for
to
rich
what,
and poor.
and I mean my all.
They want to change them, you people.
Yes, so he's
they
saying
be universal.
He's saying let's not be lied to. We can share our views, but the foundation to which the marriage is built is very important, and there are principles in marriage. And he concludes saying all marriages are different, but the principles are the same, even concerning financial management. Well, share your opinions on declaring your income to your significant other for better financial management in a home. Well, how do you do it? Maybe you don't really declare your money, but the bills are already sorted. The children are in school. They have what to wear. There is food on the table. Power is there. Yaka is there. Water, they've never disconnected you. Do you know that there are homes like that? And people don't tell each other their money, but everything is sorted. Things are in order. They're like, you know what, sir, madam, I am not going to tell you
and
how
some
much
under declare.
Just ask me whatever you want.
Actually, most of
ask
the
me
women,
whatever you want and I will provide, but don't ask me
most of the
how
women
much, what,
under
because
declare.
yes.
And the men will tell you, don't be mad. If you're getting 2.5, declare 2. So that this 500 is on you, because how will you get money for booze, for chili?
Because they're going to budget for it if you
but there are
declare.
cultures I know where it is the woman that works, then returns. Have you seen these ladies that carry brooms? Commonly, brooms.
Oh,
that
yes.
That particular, I won't mention that tribe. It is in their culture. It is the woman to work. So she goes, works, then brings what she has made
and gives
home,
it to the husband.
Gives the man that this is for drinking. Now this is what you are going to do. Then there's an Asian species. In Asia, there's a tribe there where for them, it is entirely the man who works. Think about Indians. You know, Indians also have variant. Hindus, what. But there's a specific. The men are supposed to work, then bring every penny they have earned and give the lady, because she's the one who plans for the home. So it's the lady who knows Kirabo, you need another shirt. Yes.
Even buy it for you.
Yes, buy it for you. Now you need new shoes. She's planning the entire home. School fees, everything. So for you, yours is to toil and toil and toil and toil
and
and
that's
bring
true,
back home.
because there are also families I know where this man the lady decides, or they make a unilateral decision between them and say the wife is going to be at home, look after the children, take care of the home. The husband will go and do the work, and he will bring all that money and give it to the wife, and she will manage that money. Also, that is quite a very hard
just imagine going before my wife and I'm like, honey, can you give me something to go out today?
I need to go somewhere for a certain trip. Can you please give me? I don't get it.
Family,
the whole thing is wrong. No, on either side. If I am the woman and I have to do that, to ask a man for certain kind of money, you know what, can you give me money for hair? And yet, you know, I just received money and gave it to you. It feels wrong. And the same thing, like a man, you just earned money and then you gave it out, and now you're begging for it. It seems like you're begging
Maybe
for
I think
it.
when you return, when you bring this money
wrong.
home, she'll get some portion and say, now if it is maybe 3.8, now okay, this 800 is yours for your personal things. I don't know how they do it, but for me,
no, like I said, I
getting all
and declaring it and giving it to the home manager.
Declaring is okay.
Yeah,
but I think the
giving it to the home manager.
To the home manager.
Yes,
because what I do is I know what she earns, she knows what I earn.
Okay.
But what we do, we have a workout list of things we should do. Then on this workout list, we see what each is bringing.
Yeah.
If you're saying maybe we want a gate on the fence, we don't have one, it is maybe 3.5. What is your contribution this month? Then she says, well, I think I'll give her a 1M. What is yours? I'll give her 1M. Though sometimes I'm cheated, she'll say, but you're the man, you're going to send a That's, well, but we find
well, you can have flexibility around it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you can still be flexible about it, and I think that's the good plan.
There are good things that Alphonse
because
doesn't
you don't have
take
to.
me saying, she knows what I earn, what the money does. So if I live a comfortable, and the secret to men, declare your salary, not side incomes. Comfortably.
We are saying declare all the money.
We are not saying salary.
Declare all the money.
This is bad.
It is my money.
There is another comment coming in from a viewer here who is saying, I really support the idea of teamwork and commitment in handling home finances. It begins and is sustained by trusting and respecting each other. However, in whatever circumstance, a man must play a leading role in ensuring that family has good income. He should be a great thinker and also a hard worker. The good married women too are good managers of family finances for the beneficiary of all. And I think this just summarizes what we have been talking about. This gentleman or lady had a way of putting it there. So, but the conversation is still going on to our social media platforms. I knew this was going to be interesting because very many Ugandans have their own way of thinking about it. But also one thing I've just really come to terms with is that every family has a customized way of handling their finances, especially the families that have it going so well. Leave aside the ones where they still have very many hiccups. So what could be working in this family may not be working for the other family, for as long as the financial needs are met, or at least the biggest percentage. I think you do you, and probably you don't have any regrets at the end of the day. That's what is very important. Well, good morning, Uganda Friday special is still going on, and we are going for a break. When we get back, we still have a lot to unpack for you. But
this is Good Morning Uganda.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift, buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Every waking day is is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey, in the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth, in the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, it is the press review, and looking at the Daily Monitor this morning, officials used rats to eat COVID cash. A forensic audit report by the Auditor General states that the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovations violated procurement rules, contracted firms that were not pre-qualified to provide services, and bought fewer rats than budgeted for research during the COVID-19 pandemic. And Uganda signs pact with Vietnam. Consider this a done deal. President Museveni, of course, the picture over there showing His Excellency inspecting a guard of honor in Vietnam yesterday. And Uganda has signed several cooperation agreements with Vietnam as two countries strengthen bilateral ties. Again, another story you could look out for in the Daily Monitor this morning. Government to train 50,000 city borders. Roger Miller gets special World Cup award. And still in the Scoop Entertainment pullout are the names giving Ugandan music a global moment. Well, you can find that list in the Daily Monitor this Friday morning. But also onto the second page, more detailed stories on how government wants to train our border cyclists, and also taking you back in history. Today, top army official Ogole arrested in Tanzania. Now, the year was 1986. Where were you then? Well, all that in the Daily Monitor today.
And we cross over into the new just the headline right there. Companies rush for 25 trillion shillings oil deals. Well, 2,700 firms are registered and 61,533 workers employed. That is a story on page 3 of the New Vision. We also give you a picture right there. Uganda-Vietnam seal deal in ICT with President Museveni right there, and Vietnam's Nguyen Xuan witnessing the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on Information and Communication by the ICT ministries of both countries. Right there, and details are on the second page. How celebs are used and dumped. That's an interesting story at on page 47 and 48. But also they give you more on the World Cup, why England needs Kane against USA. That is on page 56 of the New Vision. Now they give you more details on the Uganda-Vietnam deal. That is on the second page, and of course more interesting stories in the paper.
Daily Monitor Sports FIFA World Cup. Race for the Golden Boot remains open as many players are locked at 2 goals after their opening games. And Van Gaal hints Depay could start. Miller's presence shows what Cameroon are missing. Well, today you'll be expecting Qatar versus Senegal, a game that will be happening at 4 p.m. and Netherlands versus Ecuador, and of course UBC TV will be here to give you all those matches.
And also the New Vision Sports gives you more on your World Cup paper. Kane Is he here to deliver? Well, that is what they're expecting from him. Team England, what you need to know about World Cup, the fixture in there, and the day's big games, obviously still shining more light on the Qatar-Senegal game, which of course will be aired here on UBC.
Well, Daily Nation, Raila cornered. Well, ODM boss meeting coalition's governors today as he moves to avert implosion. And the man under siege giving you several pointers why that is happening. Now, looking at the doping crisis, athletics ban, Kenyans to no fit next week. And MPs picked him to help anchor CDF in the law. And Ruto out revenge on IEBC 4, says Azimio. Still giving you more details about the World Cup. African giants Cameroon and Ghana beaten. Well, you can catch those stories in the Daily Nation this morning. Well, make sure that you look out for all these papers, get a copy of each, and find out more about what's happening here in Uganda, but also in Kenya and across. But also we do have quite Mollen coming in with more when it comes to the weather and climate forum, and she'll be also giving us some more entertainment news later on. But Mollen, yesterday I was very happy about the weather. It was a bit confusing. It didn't really rain, at least where I was. It didn't rain, and we did actually witness a bit of some sunshine later on in the afternoon hours. I don't know, could this be the same story for Friday?
Well, Friday could actually be more different because we are looking at more possibilities of rains, especially for most areas within southwestern parts of the country, still also around central, but at least not very much to disrupt the day. That's the good news. The rains will be there, but probably not much. And also still a sunny day for most areas within northern Uganda and eastern Uganda. That is not good because also the temperatures are really high, soaring temperatures, and people out there are already complaining about it.
Well, there you go. Now more news and details coming in from that corner with Mollen.
Well, we're also looking at satellite for this morning, tapping in from the EUMETSAT satellite. Looks like we're having mostly cloudy weather across the country. And of course, we're also looking at more clouds that are developing from Lake Victoria and Lake Albert as well, meaning that we could be having rainy weather for areas within Midwestern Uganda, as well as those around Lake Victoria. That is where we do expect some rains. But also you look at more clouds starting to develop across the northwestern part of the country. That is towards Arua, Yumbe, that area might be having rains for this morning. We continue with open skies where we have those blue colors. We're looking at mostly sunny weather. That is for parts of eastern Uganda, as well as the northeastern part of the country. That is across Karamoja, Moria as well. We're looking at Padel, also starting off with quite a sunny morning, a patch, but also extending towards Mbale, Buyende. We're looking at quite a sunny morning for you, and most areas around there that are expected to continue with mostly sunny intervals. So yes, that is one to look out for, but also you do consider the fact that we are still in a rainy season that goes up to December. So most likely the southern sector especially will be continuing with those rains as we even head into December. That is one to look out for. But well, it is still Good Morning Uganda Special Friday. We'll be coming in with more entertainment news and of course what to look out for as you head towards the weekend. We take you through also the highlights in sports and of course what you can look out for in the World Cup and some of the games that are being played around. That will also be taking you through that. But for now, let's take a short break. We'll be back.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasos, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Don't fear. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
We bring you a fresh, well-researched program to help you identify opportunities for investment, job creation, growing your entrepreneurial skills, wealth creation, and social transformation.
We have a product that is ready for schools, supermarkets.
Create wealth. Transform livelihoods. Every week, we showcase opportunities for creating new products and services.
I now harvest a lot of cocoa. When I harvest it, I sell. After selling, I put money in my project. I have two projects. One is for construction of my house. Two is for educating my children.
Excellence in innovation, the passion and drive to succeed, and the right mindset to grow your business. Create wealth. Transform livelihoods. Brought to you by Operation Wealth Creation.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay? If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay? If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very, very own people. I have the Oboso bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Arwakojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay. Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
You as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by
Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN cupboard. That's super easy.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, we are talking about movies and also those that tell a story. Now, just recently, and specifically yesterday, actually, there is a global campaign about activism, and this is also in a launch of a lot of organizations across the world that have launched 16 days of ending domestic violence. Now, in this, they're also looking at some of the films that could actually be speaking to the story. Now, we do also want to join the world into making sure that we are promoting the campaign to end gender-based violence. And some of the movies actually that have come out on top worldwide, even till today, to show some of those stories, but also bring in a little bit of fiction based on some of the, real-time stories, but also what happens out there, especially talking about this topic. We're talking about a movie called She Said. Now, this one is the one that takes you through a huge story of what happens in one of the journalists who was trying to investigate a story leading into something that they did not see coming. Now, when a journalist joins other journalists in taking a lawsuit against one of the richest men in the world, well, the New York Times journalists Megan Twoher and Jody publish a report that exposes sexual abuse allegations against powerful Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. Well, as this happens, the shocking story also serves as a launching pad for the Me Too movement, shattering decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault and harassment. This is a story in the movie She Said. Now, this movie will be premiering in cinema even tomorrow. This is one that you can look out for. Let's take a look into the trailer.
On the record, as if they all jumped together.
Why is sexual harassment so pervasive and so hard to address? Let's interrogate the whole system.
Hi, my name is Jody Cantor. I'm an investigative reporter for the New York Times.
What have you got?
I was told that the wrongdoing in Hollywood is overwhelming.
I don't want to be quoted. Period.
Understood.
In your previous stories,
how did you persuade women to tell you what had happened to them?
The case I made was, I can't change what happened to you in the past, but together we may be able to help protect other people. The truth, basically. What is it exactly that we're looking at here?
These young women walked into what they all had reason to believe were business meetings.
I can still see it, the hotel room, the floor plan.
He kept trying to touch me.
I asked him to leave me alone.
Instead, they say he met them with threats and sexual demands.
I was young, scared.
Hi, we're from the New York Times. I believe you used to work for Harvey Weinstein?
People have tried to write this story before. He kills it every time.
Harvey adamantly denies any allegation of assault.
He played people. He was a master manipulator.
Will you give me just one chance to talk to you?
Are you sure that this isn't just young women who want to sleep with a movie producer to try to get ahead?
This is bigger than Weinstein. This is about the system protecting abusers.
The women who receive these settlements, they can't speak out. They'll be sued if they do. But if someone could speak freely about the payouts...
What payouts, John?
You have to imagine that every call you make is being recorded and you're being followed.
Can you imagine how many Harveys there are out there?
You want to get me killed?
Do you wish you hadn't signed up for this story?
Do you?
No.
The only way these women are going to go on the record
is if they all jumped together.
We're all here, Harvey.
Who have you talked to?
I have 3 daughters, and I don't want them to ever accept abuse or bullying. I'll go on the record.
Go write. It's time to write.
this is all going to come out.
Shocking story with drama and also biography around the topic. Quite a one that can throw you into a lot of trouble. Well, doing the right thing does always take a lot of effort, a lot of energy and determination. This is what the movie is all about, and it will be premiering tomorrow in cinema. So you can go ahead, get a ticket and see what the story is all about. And of course, there are a lot of things to learn about as well. Now, another movie that you can look out for this weekend, this has already started showing on Netflix. It's a fictional character based on a story of a woman, Friday Adams. The movie is called Wednesday Adams. Well, she is a fictitious character created by American cartoonist Charles Adams. Now, the story is of the only daughter by the in a family, and of course also appearing in TV, film and in video games, but both in live action and of course animated formats. Now, this story is also giving you more of what happens when a child has special abilities, but also the same abilities have enabled her to also uncover a conspiracy within a family in something scary that the whole family is looking forward to, but they don't know where the mystery is. This is the story that Netflix is showing you, and of course we also have a trailer. Let's take a look and see what you can expect from Wednesday Adams.
Actually enjoy. Nevermore was created as a safe haven for our children to learn and to grow, no matter who or what they are. Should we meet your new roommate?
Are you feeling okay? You look a little pale.
Please excuse Wednesday. She's allergic to color.
Oh, wow. What happens to you?
I break out into hives and then the flesh peels off my bones.
I act as if I don't care if people dislike me. Deep down, I actually enjoy it.
There's just something wrong about this place. Not just because it's a school.
Secret societies, hidden libraries, a homicidal monster.
What other surprises are in store?
Uncle Fester.
I like to travel incognito. Come on, let's roll!
Nevermore continues to be a place where the questions far outweigh the answers. I won't stop until I find the truth. I know the suspense is killing you.
It is a comedy horror, a supernatural movie, and of course looking at the mystery in there. Now, this is one that also brings in a feel of, mystery that you yourself as a viewer, you would want to uncover. You want to know what happens next. And of course, is all this scary kind of horror. Now, if you loved movies like, Harry Potter, this is one to look out for, because some of these supernatural powers are also in there, looking at a teenager trying to fight a battle where she shouldn't belong in that battle. That is the movie Wednesday Adams, and of course already rating 97 at Google users, and of course also Rotten Tomatoes giving it 83%. This movie just came out 2 days ago, and of course it is still showing, and one to look out for, especially if you are a horror fanatic, also looking out for movies about supernatural stuff. Well, also that one that you can look out for that is forthcoming on Netflix still, we're looking at Warrior of the Future. Well, this is mostly a fantasy but also action and fiction. This is a 2022 movie, and of course it is talking about a meteor carrying a destructive plant that strikes the world. Now, when it does, a suicide squad is given hours to save the post-apocalyptic city from total collapse. Well, there's a lot in there,
And of course, what is looked at is also the history in Japan. Now, this movie is available in about 3 languages. It is in Japanese, English, and of course there is also French. You can choose which language you will be watching with, especially if you're going to be streaming on Netflix. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer.
太點知，而家只係人類為多年惡行埋單嘅時候。Plan B 已經開始咗。
我覺得佢唔係適合嘅人選。
小心，風島艦開始攻擊！飛啲，飛啲！總部估計會犧牲16萬人。如果任務失敗，
受災人口560萬。
信號受到干擾，係因為全部都係意外。 我哋要行落去。呢個任務唔係為咗自己，係為咗所有嘅人。我哋只有個 plan，就係完成任務。只係得我同你啫。行落去。
喂，我哋兩兄弟引開借佢，
係對冧佢。
Well, Suicide Squad, and I think one interesting thing about movies with the Suicide Squad, you look at people who are now fighting for their lives. Either you save the planet or yourself, you will die. So they just have no choice but to keep fighting. This is the kind of action that you can look forward to. And of course, this movie will be streaming very soon as Netflix brings it out, but the official trailer just dropped. Now, the official trailer is in Japanese, but we do know that the English version is also going to be availed on Netflix as the movie starts streaming. Well, also, if you would like to catch a good read, and of course this is one that has also been rated as one of the good reads in 2022. We're talking about a book, and this one is called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Well, this is a book by Gabriela Zevin, and of course giving you a story of an exhilarating novel by the bestseller, but also looking into 2 friends who are often in love but never lovers. Now they come together as creative partners in the world of video game. They are also looking at design, but where success brings them, the fame, the joy, the tragedy, ultimately the kind of immortality that they could be looking at. Well, on bitter cold days in December, junior year at Harvard, this is where the 2 friends start their journey, and of course pretending to be who they are not. They are at one point joined by something they both love. Now they also love each other, however, they have not found their way to each other. Now how do they make this a successful business, especially when they're looking at starting a video game? And what is the tragedy in there that the novel is talking about? I don't want to give you the spoilers, but that is also something that I want to know. And of course, the possibilities of what could happen when these 2 get together. Well, it is fiction, it is contemporary, there is romance, there is literally fiction, and of course the science fiction as well. That is one book I would easily go for. I don't know, I want to know Philomena's take on such a book. When you look at its genre, the action, the contemporary, the romance, fiction in there, the story, this is a book I would read.
I definitely read it as well, because it has I love all the other aspects that you know, are brought in, but the fact that there is action, there is fiction, and then there is romance. I really love those 3. So for me, you can call me living in a world of imagination, but I work well with those 3 aspects, so I would definitely give it a read.
The imagination is really one thing that keeps you wanting. Yeah, you just want to know what happens. And these are 2 friends. Like, do you imagine situations where There are two best friends, a boy and a girl, and this is something that I think society also really doesn't click on. They can't believe that a boy and a girl can be best friends.
But do you believe it though? Do you believe that a boy and a girl can be best friends?
I believe that. 100%.
I believe it too.
100%. But I know people who wouldn't think that is possible. But also it's because of such stories, because now they also need to cross that line. How do you cross over from friendship to now being in a different kind of relationship? That's a big question right there. I think that's why most people don't believe in this whole boy-girl friendship.
They absolutely wouldn't. If you told I mean, take for example, back in the day, if you told your parents that this is my friend, introducing your friends to your family, me, in high school, I would do that. But you see, when you introduce this guy, we see people raising eyebrows and all that. You're like, he's just a friend.
Just a friend.
They never believe it.
And parents never take it as you introducing just a friend.
Absolutely
They will always
not.
be like, this is potentially someone more than
you get
a
to
friend.
university, it's even worse, because they're like, the moment she now graduates, this is it, this is the person. But it's possible for you to be friends with a gentleman, with a lady, without any flings or any strings attached.
Well, and I think that is absolutely possible. But also something else that has been intriguing this week, and also, by the way, at the beginning of World Cup, is we did see Ghetto Kids perform in Qatar. And I think that was really a highlight to see presence of Uganda over there. Now, this came with a lot of good stuff, and the Ugandans being happy that the Ghetto Kids were out there, but we also saw criticism saying, you know what, they should have performed on the big stage where we saw the likes of John Cork, and of course, this is a performance in Qatar, one of the events that were actually leading up to, World Cup, and the Ghetto Kids were there to represent. I think this is one thing that we should be appreciative. And look at that video right there. You can see how that was a big audience, and the kids were there, making their creative dances, and of course the audience did appreciate. I think it's about time that also Ugandans appreciated their effort towards that. This was a big deal for the Ghetto Kids, and I think for Uganda as well to be at that platform. Just take a look at that event. It was a big platform for them. And you did see, and Philomena, you see how Ghetto Kids have also been moving their journey, especially with international performances. And I think that is where we should be giving them a lot of credit.
Yes, they've really registered a lot of progress from the time we started getting to know about these children or these kids. From the time they came to the limelight, I think they're the first bunch of Ugandans, and I'm saying between the adults and the young, they are quite a group, the first group of people I've seen that have used this fame to their advantage, and they've used it qualitatively, if I must say that. And something good has really come out for them. I really like where they're headed. I would want to see them continue progressing. I don't know what would be next after this, but it will be interesting to see what they have in plan.
Yeah, and I think we've also gotten to a level where we need to appreciate that they have personally put the effort, because right from where they started with Eddie Kenzo's Stamina song, and then they did also a collabo with South Africa's big artist in South Africa, I'm forgetting his name, but they have also made the effort to make sure that they are relevant.
I think they also had a collaboration with French Montana. Was it
that is French Montana.
Yes.
That's French Montana. Yes. That was a big deal for them, and I think that opened a lot of doors as well. We have to recognize also the contribution of the artists that have given them the platform.
True.
But they have also stayed relevant to themselves, and of course making sure that they can represent. Now you see them performing at such a World Cup opening ceremony, and for me that was a big deal. I don't care who is criticizing what, or they could have done better or secured that big platform. Do you know how many artists were actually who wanted to be on the big stage, to have an opening song in Qatar? That was something that everyone was looking forward to, and even those artists never made it to these kind of opening ceremonies, the side events. So I said this was a huge win, and we should really appreciate it. And of course, I would easily shed light on that. We need more of these talents coming up, and I think we've also seen most of these groups like the Massacre Boys have also been doing well. They have been doing I think recently they appeared in a documentary and a movie in Hollywood they were nominated to be in. That was a big step. We're seeing most of these kid groups actually coming up to make their performances and be recognized internationally, and they still need a lot of support from the music industry here. And I'm glad that we're now having federations that are coming up to be, to help artists. So how about they also think about promoting such talent, especially with kid groups that are coming up and making such appearances? That is one thing that I would also want to see happen, especially as we talk about this new music industry leadership.
Wow, indeed. Good morning, Uganda Friday special. We're still here with you all the way till the top of the hour. We'll still have quite a lot more coming in. I do have some more feedback, by the way, regarding our discussion we're having earlier on about financial management. How is it done?
This is an interesting
topic. Very interesting. And people have quite a number of texts on that one, where we did ask, share your opinion on declaring your income to your significant other for better financial management in a home. I love the fact that people also do admit that it would be right. It's the right and appropriate thing to do for you to share with your significant other. Declare your incomes and see how you can help each other. But they also acknowledge the fact that that is far from the reality of what is happening, or something that would be done. So it's an ideal thing, but it's hardly done. Well, I'll be sharing more feedback from you, our beautiful and wonderful viewers, and we'll be having again some more sports updates coming in. So stay with us. We're going for a break. When we get back, we'll be getting
the game for Qatar and Senegal. I feel like that is one that everyone is looking out for. And of course, we actually do have a lot of games coming also for the weekend. So while we're telling you, we're spotting out for you what you have to look for out this weekend, you might also want to be really aware that the sports is one thing to look out for. And also one other thing Philomena wants sports for people this weekend is you need to get dressed well. And of course, finding a good designer in town is a responsibility that you should carry on. Now I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey, in the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
My name is Ruben P. Machibirang, and I'm glad to be here this morning, despite the fatigue. The World Cup is really taking us. Anyway, but I know that many of you have enjoyed the World Cup. Yesterday I did talk to Edward Seguya, and he told me he was impressed with the setup of the World Cup. And I'll tell you, Eddie, that so many things will come up. You just have to watch UBC TV. You'll be the witness of so many things, starting with the World Cup set. Many were doubted that we wouldn't pull it off, and now.
Now I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday.
Should carry on now. I want to recommend Alvin Clever. Of course, he's the man on my pants today, and I always look smart in them just because I'm dressed by Alvin Clever. He is at Arua Park Plaza, shop number 637. You can reach him out there, and of course, get yourself nice wares for the weekend. And of course, he also has office wares. You can reach him on his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever. Get yourself looking good.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry, time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda Friday special, and of course, as we're coming close to the end of this morning, well, I just want to take you through some of the comments that you had to share with us in regards to our topic earlier on. And Harris over here, you're saying that that is a reality. It's it is a truth for us to want to be able to open to each other about our accounts, but it's far from the reality. We need to work on that. Thank you so much, Harris. And coming in from you, Wilson, here, you're saying that people have become very selfish in marriages. Everybody looks out for themselves and their incomes. Ideally, they should be able to sit down and make uniformed and unilateral decisions. Thank you so much. Well, again, you just let us know. Continue commenting through. Of course, it will be interesting to know the text, and probably somebody could pick a leaf or two, and maybe we'll make the society quite a much better place. The weekend is officially in. Mollen, what's the plan? Maybe I could fix myself in your plan.
Well, it looks like we're always excited about the weekend, but there are those weekends where you're like, I'll probably just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'll see what comes up. I think, to me, that this is one of those weekends, really.
Yeah.
I see that, you know, also we have to prepare for, you know, December is just coming up. So meaning that we're looking for Christmas. You want to tone down on your spending and make sure you save enough for Christmas. You know, the festivities and all that, you know, it always involves traveling for me. That's what I'm looking out for. So I'm kind of like, you know, trying to see if I can make it to that one trip at least across Uganda and, you know, take a holiday a bit.
Be like Mollen. Be like Mollen. Save that money, the money that you'll be spending right now. It will probably come in handy when the real time of the festivities come through. So I think I'm going to follow suit.
Yeah, please.
I'm just going to go and camp in my house and then see where the weekend is going to
camp
be.
Where?
In my house.
No. No, go camping if you want camping. By the way, I think I should tell you one thing about camping. I did go for a camping trip with a couple of friends.
Yes.
And guess what? That was my last camping trip. I can easily say it right here, right now. That is I didn't know the experience of camping. These people ask you to actually sleep in tents. Now, for me, I thought maybe I would get away with it, get a hotel room. They're like, that is not camping if you want a hotel room. If you're going camping, you need a tent. And then I imagined myself sleeping outside. The tent is there. There are all these, you know, caterpillars and all that. I'm like, no, this environment is not for me.
For a person to go into camping, you really need to have that adventurous spirit. And I think for most of us, we are just got away into it. We can't go all in 100% because even the camping thing is just not in my docket.
Yeah, because it's not fair. What if we go camping, I do other activities, but when it comes to sleeping, I sleep in a hotel room? Like, what's wrong with that? Why am I required to stay in a tent? Like, for me, it didn't click, and I'm like, okay, this is the last time I'm doing this.
And this is interesting because I was a girl guide at one point, and this is like part of their lifestyle. You know, this is what we're trained camping and all that. I can do it, but if I have other options, trust me, I am going for plan B. Well, good morning, Uganda. It was quite very beautiful having you start out the week with us from Monday with the entire team until today. Stepping into the weekend, I just have some just a word or two. Be very nice and be very considerate and be very thoughtful before you do anything, before you say anything. And I believe when you do that, it will save you from a lot of trouble. I don't know, Mollen, what would be your last message?
Well, be a nice person, and I think also hailing from the conversation we had, make sure that, you know, you work as a team, declare those monies, especially the men. Tell us your money. Make sure that you make us the planners. If you're voting for financial managers in your home, it better be a woman because we are good at planning. So please, it's about time that you do that. And I much emphasis on the men, please. Yeah, that's my message.
We need to know that money. Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully we'll be able to see each other again on Monday. God bless you all.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
If I'm looking at issues of taxation and all that, I will definitely run for the Kateshumbas. Okay? If I look at, if I'm looking at issues of investments and what, I would definitely run. I would definitely run for Dr. Emure Kugonza and Honorable Omara. Okay? If I'm looking at issues of the law, I will run for our very, very own people. I have the Oboso Bosses, I have the Katuntus, I have the Robin Arwakojos. So everyone is talented in one way or another.
Did you mention Katuntu?
Okay. Yes.
Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Yours as in NRM?
He is.
Was brought to you by.
Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN cupboard. That's super easy.
This weekend on UBC.
There is what you call love and there is what love is. When you love somebody, it costs you. When you lust after somebody, it costs the other person. When I say I love you, I'm saying I'm seeking for what is good for you at my expense.
Lord, I lay down my life.
I lay